everyone, and welcome to our training call, our Tuesday training call. This is Stacy Silva, your SVP of Sales, and as promised last week, we did a training about one of our ways of selling, which is the host program, and doing parties, be that small group get-togethers, one-on-ones, whatever the case may be. It can be in someone's home, it can be online, it can be at a coffee shop, but it's about you getting together with someone who invites a friend or two along, and your host program is the gifts that you can offer him or her for inviting his or her friends along to learn more about our BennyU products. We also talked last week about the fact that you would probably want to zero in on a specific product line that you would be offering. Because we offer so much with our health and wellness and beauty, you want to, you don't want to overwhelm people. So I would highly recommend that you focus on perhaps gut health with Gut-Togethers, hydration with the sticks, and maybe how you can incorporate a few other products with that, or the beauty line with Jamberry. And the great thing about that is when you focus on one specific line, you can always go back and have a repeat host who wants to try something different. I also told you last week that as we come together on one platform, we will be enhancing our current host program. So for those of you in Jamberry who've been used to our host program for a couple of years now, we are actually making it better. So we are close to making that transition. I don't want to give you a date yet, but when we do, any open parties that you may have or any hosts that you have that haven't claimed their rewards will be able to benefit from the new program. So we'll have all those details coming for you, and I'm hoping by next Tuesday we'll have those. So today, we're going to talk about host coaching. Last week was all about the overview of this being one of our 8 ways of selling, and the fact that we're enhancing our host program. And I promised you that this week, the successful get-together or gut-together or party or one-on-one is all about setting expectations and host coaching. And to do that, not only because I'm sick and you don't want to listen to me cough through this whole presentation, I've invited one of our experts. Connie Lucida is on our advisory board, one of our top leaders at BennyU, and the queen of parties. She's been in this industry for a long time, just like me. And prior to BennyU and Jamberry, she was with other party plan companies too. So she's got lots of experience in this. So I've invited Connie to take it away. So Connie, I'm going to have you go ahead and take it from here. And then just let me know if I'm not advancing fast enough, if you want your slide advanced, okay?
Okay, great. Thanks, Stacy.
For sure.
So thanks everybody for popping on, whether you're with Stacy and I live tonight on this Zoom or whether you're catching us on the replay. We're really excited that you are investing in yourself and investing in your business by catching this training. So as Stacy said, host coaching, what does that actually mean? So I come from the party plan world. That's kind of where my love started with this industry. And the thing that I learned really early on is that if I wanted to build my business and to have a consistent business, it all was woven into this thing called host coaching. It all was about how I went from booking one party to the next party to the next party to the next party. And I learned pretty early on that the way that I needed to do that was to build trust with my host. That is a real key thing because as we know in this business, it's all about relationship building. Who we know, what we know, and how we can share that. I truly believe that host coaching is the most critical step in a successful party, whether it's a one-on-one or it's an in-home or it's an online. And it could potentially be the most single important factor in your success as an associate who wants to, as one of the 8 ways of building your business, wants to party. So this host coaching is going to lead to increased sales. It's going to build trust and strong partnerships with your host, which then is going to lead to increased booking and sales down the line for you. It's going to keep your business moving. It's going to keep you having a business month after month after month. A lot of people used to tell me, well, I had my own launch party and now I don't know what to do. So that's why you want to learn how to host coach. And I love this quote at the bottom down here: a party worth holding is a party worth coaching. And when you first start sometimes in this business, it's a little bit outside of your comfort zone. But don't worry, because that's where all the magic is, and that's where you're going to grow. So, why do you want to connect with your host? Lots of reasons why. But what you want to do, first of all, is you want Stacy in the magical slides.
Sorry, the slides are acting up. I'm sorry. So just keep going, Connie.
I'm just going to keep, you know me, I can talk for both of us and all of us who are on here. So you're going to make a couple of appointments with your host. So on your first contact, first of all, after you get that party booking, you want to set up your first contact. A lot of times people often have like party remorse. They're like, oh my gosh, I don't really want to do that. I don't want to have people in my house, or I don't want to spend time over a week if I'm going to do this virtual thing. So they might want to have some like party remorse, and they might want to bail on you, or they might be thinking, maybe she'll forget that I said that I would do this. He or she will forget. So what you want to do is right away, you want to set up this first contact. You want to make this first date, I like to call it, with your host. You know, you want to start wooing them. So you want to connect with them. You're going to connect with them within a few days of the booking, and you're going to confirm that party date and that time. If possible, you want to deliver in person a host package if you're doing an in-home party. You know, this is going to create that personal relationship that we're all striving to have. So for instance, I'm going to talk about the Jamberry side for a minute. You know, you're going to give the host some samples. You might want to give her some wraps or some lacquer strips, or get some gel on her nails. And then for any of our businesses, you want to get them the appropriate literature. Anything that you have that they can get their hands on, that they can be sharing with their friends. If you want to be doing an M party, maybe you want to give them a sample of the different sticks. Ask what they want to do. But you want to have that first personal touch with them. You can always do, you know, you can do this on a Zoom call if it's an online or a virtual party, if you can't deliver it in person. Party goals. What exactly does that mean? People say to me all the time, what do I need a party goal for? What does a party goal mean? In my mind, the party goal is crucial. What is your goal as an associate? Why do you want to do this party? Is it because your team manager, your director of your business, your upline executive held a booking blitz, and you wanted to get one of those prizes and get your name in, so then you got this party set up, and now you're like, well, shoot, I guess I got to do this. So what's your goal for this party? What do you want as an associate out of this party? Do you want to sell? Do you want to just add to your commission? Do you want to be offering the business opportunity? Do you want to grow your confidence? Do you want to get out of the house? What is it? What is your party goal? And you know what? Share that with somebody. Share that with the significant other, the person who lives with you in your home, your mom, your best friend. Share it with your upline. Share it with your team. Go post it on your team page. You guys, I have my first in-home party I've had in a really long time, or the first one I've ever done. And I want to sell XYZ amount, and I hope that I can book another party off of that, and maybe even get my host to join. So what is your party goal? And then here's another party goal that I don't think the light bulb went off for me very early on in my business about this. So hopefully I'm giving you a little tip here with this. But find out what your host's goal is. What's the goal? Why does she or he want to have this party for you? Were they pressured? Is it your mom? Is it your best friend? Is it your neighbor? But dig down deep. If this is just not a pity party or a favor party, why? Why does she want to have this party? And even if it is your mom's having it, help her to develop a goal. So here are some goals that a party host might want. product for their own personal use, gifts for others, partying as a social event. I had a friend one time, a long time ago, I said, so Sue, why do you want to do this party? And she said, oh my gosh, Connie, I just got this great leather living room furniture and everybody has to see it. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. But that was her goal for the party. So you better believe that I talked up that leather furniture all throughout that party. Maybe he or she is actually watching you to see what this business is all about, and they want to make some extra money. That may be a goal that they're just not willing to share with you about yet, but it might be something that they're thinking about. You definitely then in that first kind of contact want to talk about the host reward program. I always mention auto ship or subscriptions, bundles, the Style Box program, anything that might be exclusive within the month that we're in and the month that they're going to be holding their event. Encourage invitations. I always encourage 40 plus for a home party because 50% of the people don't come. So you want to have them to over invite and have them do those types of lists just how like you do when you're looking at building your business. Coworkers, parents of their kids, friends, people who they know who like fashion or beauty or are health conscious or have gut issues, church groups, out of town family and friends. You may want to turn this into a virtual party also. I always mail out invitations for my host. That way I know that they get mailed out, and I know you guys are like, snail mail? Yeah, absolutely. People love to get stuff in the mail, especially if like glittery, sparkly stuff falls out of the envelope. But get with your host and get invitations, or make sure that they are doing an Eventbrite or an Evite or one of those virtual online things. So many people, if they don't have an invitation and they don't have a way to RSVP, then they just think that it's not a thing and they can kind of blow it off. You want to encourage your host to contact each guest personally. So, just how like when you're passionate about your business, it shows. Our hosts who are most passionate about our products and getting their goal are going to be the ones who are going to be your very, very, very best party hosts and who are going to take your business to the next level. So make sure that they get excited about that and you can continue on that, that passion and that excitement for the business. If it's a Facebook event, there's so many things with a Facebook event, so many things. As opposed to over inviting for an in-home event, I would limit the number of guests for a Facebook event. You don't want a Facebook event to be 300 people or every single person who's on their friends list. They want these people to also feel special and exclusive. And it's really important in the virtual world that your host participates. So I know this sounds kind of forward thinking to say, but I say to my virtual hostess, you have to participate. You can't just sit back. I am going to do all the heavy lifting, but I need you to participate. I need you to interact with your guests, just how if it would be an in-home party and they're going to participate and the people are actually coming into their home, or you guys are going to meet at a coffee shop and they're going to be hosting that. They are hosting this virtual event, so they have to show up. Those parties, when I have coached with people and they said, oh man, my last couple of Facebook events have been terrible. And I'm like, have you host coached? Have you talked to them about the importance of participating? And the thing that I hear is, no, that's really awkward for me. Okay, you are a professional Benny U consultant. And I hope you tell yourself that, or associate. I hope you tell yourself that over and over and over. I am a professional Benny U associate. And I hope you are so proud of that. So within your job description is being able to get outside of your comfort zone a little and to grow your business. And you're actually doing your host a favor, because then you can circle back to that goal and say, I know you wanted to get whatever, you want the entire Love Your Gut line. These are your friends, not mine. You got to do a little work here. I'm going to work as hard as I can for you to get that, but I need your assistance. The second contact that you're going to make with your host is going to be about a week or a couple of days before this actual in-home or at a coffee shop or wherever you are where you guys are getting together. So about a week ahead of time. So what you're going to do is you're going to review the party with your host. You're kind of going to go through what it is that you're going to be doing. If it's an M stick party, you're going to tell her, I'm going to set up a display. I'm going to bring my dispensers in. Everybody's going to have a little bit, to drink. I need this much room. I'm going to talk about the products. Then you're going to want to also talk about how you're going to be getting the orders and close the party. So I will actually get my host almost like being a mini associate, because I'll say, I'm going to let you mix and mingle with your friends, and then I'm going to need a little place where I can go and talk to people one-on-one about their needs for this product and take orders. So you want to kind of set that stage, and you want to review your party with the host 1 week before. You're also going to encourage your host to start collecting some pre-party orders. Get those cool brochures that we now have. Get a few of those printed, get them out. Get your website, have them to be, sending that link out to her party people in the house. You're going to want to encourage your host to remind the guests of the party. So there's nothing worse than when you get there and it's your host, her mom, her best friend, the dog, and a plant, right? That's the worst. And it's not worth your time. It's not worth their time. No one is reaching your goals. So they need to be reminding their guests of the party. You want to talk to your host about what kind of payment methods that you accept. Cash, check, debit, credit, what the do's and don'ts are for the party. So if you're going to do M sticks, I don't know that you're going to want to have a couple of bottles of wine. Maybe. It's totally up to you. I love themes. Theme parties are really fun. So you can do a theme, and oftentimes that will increase attendance. I know we're way far away from Christmas, but man, one of my favorite themes to do is a cookie exchange swap at a party. So it doesn't have to have anything to do at all with our products, but everybody brings, a half a dozen cookies or a dozen cookies, and then everybody kind of swaps and everybody gets a tin of mixed cookies to take home within talking about loving your gut. I know it's kind of crazy, but you can do it. I used to do wrap your presents and wrap your nails parties. So people would bring gifts to wrap, and we'd also talk about nail wraps. This is only limited to what you can think of within your time frame. Find out in the house where the presentation is going to take place. You want to know all of that. Do you need power? If you're going to do nail wraps, do you need mini heaters? Do you need power? Tell them they might want to put a tablecloth down, or tell them that you're going to bring a tablecloth. There'd be nothing worse than somebody who spilled a whole bunch of, repair all over or something like that. Then you want to absolutely have the host call and message and remind her guests. During this time, I always send a written thank you note. I know the party isn't even over yet, but I send a thank you note right now to my host that says, what a pleasure it has been to be working with you. I am so excited about your party. And I remind her in that note, or him, of the why. I'm super excited. I know you want to get that entire Love Your Gut kit, and I know that you're going to kill it. And I don't know that I'd say you're going to kill it, but but I know that we are going to have a really successful party. Again, We are selling personal service and attention. We are building that relationship 24 to 48 hours before the event. So this is the last touch base that I make. So, and again, you can do this online, in home, it's all about touching base. So you want to confirm the number of guests. That's really, really important. Especially if you're bringing product to demo, bringing product to sample, you want to know how many people are going to be there. Same thing goes for, an online party. Let's make sure that you've got people who are participating. You might want to talk to your host about doing a live Zoom portion of a virtual party, or a live within her party. If it's an in-home party, you want to get directions. There's nothing worse than being lost. I've been lost so many times, it's not even funny. You want to confirm the time of the event, and you want to let them know what time you will be there. Again, you are a professional Benny U associate. You can't show up 5 minutes before this is to start. I like to get there early. I like to get my stuff set up. I like to have some time to break the ice with my host, and I like to answer the door and introduce myself to people as they're coming in, and really to get them to feel comfortable and to take a lot of that, kind of stress off of the host, because, she's had to farm her kids out and take the dirty laundry and put it in laundry baskets and shove it under beds. And, if you pull back the curtain in the bathroom, you can see all the junk that she's thrown in the bathtub so that people can't see. So you want to be able to really take a lot of that off of her. You want to express, again, your appreciation for her efforts on this call. You want to emphasize with her the importance of reminder calls. You want to let her know it's a really good idea to call people. Even people who said they were going to come, they might get busy. Or here's an even better option. How about you make those calls for her? Because what are you trying to do here? You are trying to grow your network. Back in the day before social media, this is how I always grew my network and grew my teams, was because her friends then became my friends. Remind your host that any bookings generating at the party can be used to start their own Benny U business. So how great is that? One of the things that I love to do is I love to say to people, so how many of you have ever hosted a party yourself? And people will raise their hands, besides being here. And I will say, well, Stacy is thinking about starting a Benny U business herself. If she were to host a party, how many of you would be, or if she were to become an associate, how many of you would be willing to host one of her first parties? And you would not believe all those hands go flying up in the air, because everybody wants to help their friends out. And look at what you've just done there. You have shown to your host that she already has support to get her business kicked off. And then that's something that I circle back to at the end of the party to say, I'll come and support you with that. But, you get these future bookings, you can definitely start your own business. Convey your confidence to your party host that it is going to be a success. If you are not confident, your host is going to feel that, and they're not going to be confident. And then you show up and it's the dog, a plant, the best friend, and the mother. And that's when people say, I didn't really get a whole lot of sales. If you are passionate about wanting to do this, it just all kind of flows into place. So good host coaching is one of the best ways to recruit new associates. So offer the business opportunity to every single host. I always like to tell people that your party host is the next person joining your team. So here's some types of things that you can say. Sarah, have you ever thought about doing something like what I do? Hey, Sarah, you're already really passionate about this product, and you've done an amazing, amazing, amazing job helping me get this party together. And that's really all about what this business is. And you're somebody I would love to keep working with. Let's schedule a time to get together. How does that sound? So easy, just so simple things. A lot of times people are just waiting for the ask. Then after the party, let your host know how much she or he would have earned if they had been the associate. I used to give out little note cards that would say exactly what my commission was that I earned. And how great is it now that you can talk about the starter kit and all of those types of things right then. One of the things somebody told me one time was to say to your host at the end of the party, "Didn't you have a great time tonight?" Sharing this great, amazing product is so easy. This business takes really not any more time than we spent together on a party, and it's a great way to add additional income every month, as well as meeting amazing new people. If you were the associate for this party, you would have earned XYZ. So imagine if you only booked just a few home parties a month, how that could impact you and your family. Again, you can do this in the virtual world too. You can say those same types of things in the virtual world. And I think sometimes we get so caught up in the virtual world party and and how it is a little bit more anonymous than being face to face that we forget to kind of close it and seal the deal with our host. It's kind of like the worst date where it just ends and then nothing ever happens. So, how can you have that confidence to say to them, how fun was this? And how great would it be to be working together? Have you ever thought about that? And if you early on in the host coaching, talk to them about what their goal was for the party. And if at that time you dropped the hint that wouldn't it be great to do this as a business, watch what I'm doing, and we can circle back around to it, it makes that conversation even easier. Helping someone to host a party for one evening or 1 week virtually is really great, and it is a lot of fun. But it's even better if you can build a long and prosperous business relationship with someone. I really believe that successful host coaching, whether it be virtual or online, is your best opportunity to build those relationships and to grow yourself a thriving Benny U business. So I really appreciate you taking the time to hang in here and listen to me go on and on for 30 minutes. But as you can tell, I'm really passionate about host coaching. I watched my business change in every company that I decided to partner with. Host coaching moved me up and up to different levels of this business. And then the best thing ever has been to teach others to do it and to see their businesses thrive. So I really encourage you to think about having a party, either online or in home, and treat that hostess like gold, and your business will really, really go far. Thanks, Stace, for asking me to hang out with you tonight.
Thank you, Connie. You were amazing. And, being someone who myself was in the field for a long time before I came into this corporate world, you have all the tips that I built my business on. And one thing I do want to point out, and everything was spot on, and I know that, Connie and I were doing parties back before social media was a thing, right? That's how old we are. But the reality is social media is a thing, but you do still have to transfer these skills, these tips, these relationships to the social media side. But I also want to say there's lots of articles and studies out right now that people are lacking the personal connections and relationships that are built by getting together. So you could also take the forefront in getting back into the one-on-ones, back into the small group at a kitchen table, back into get-togethers at a coffee shop or in someone's house, because people are missing those relationships by just being online. And so the tide is turning again, as we know that it always does. talk to mentors in the business, and they're seeing it in their companies as well. When the focus is solely online, people are missing those relationships and things kind of stagnate. So it's really important that we know we're a relationship business. That's what sets direct selling apart, is the relationships that are built. I can tell you that some of my best friends, even all these years later, and Facebook friends and all of that, are people whose homes I went into and did parties. So you do build lifelong friendships. Very often, I found that 1 in 4 of my hosts joined my team because I showed them how easy it was. And truly, an extra $300 to $500 makes a difference in people's lives. And if you've listened to the Thursday opportunity calls at all, you've heard that a stat in the United States is that the majority of people who live in the US can't afford a $400 emergency. The water heater breaks, the brakes go out on the car, they need new tires, something like that. They can't afford it without using a credit card. You have the option, like I always like to say, part-time, big time, full-time. You have the option to put that extra little bit of cash in people's hands so that those $400 emergencies don't become a credit card issue for them. So, and really it all just ties together: relationships, host coaching, getting together one-on-one, and making a difference. And so if big time is your thing, that you want to make a lot of money, you're in the right business. But if part-time or full-time, where you just need that extra income for your family to make ends meet or pay something off or achieve a short-term goal, this is a great way to do it as well. And inviting your host to do the same, you will get such satisfaction from. So again, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you, Connie, for your time and expertise. We'll get this posted for everyone to enjoy, and we appreciate you and all you do. Bye, everybody.